step into the vibe. Let's go. We legit. It's beyond the edit. We talk real, no script. Lights on, truth drops. Yeah, we never quit. Turn it up, turn it up. This is beyond the edit.
Hello, welcome to Beyond the Edit. I am Sarah Talks, and this is the show where we slow down the chaos, hop the edit wall, and ask the questions the fans really want to know. So I've gone from covering the live feeds and we host watch parties, but now I get to sit down with the very people you watch on your favorite shows and hear the stories that didn't make the edit. Every single episode, we're going to get into what we didn't see, find out the people behind your screens, and just go beyond what production wants you to know. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. If you're part of our Patreon community, you already know that you can submit questions for our guests or even pop in live to ask them yourselves. The links are in the show notes. Now you are in for a crazy treat today. This is going to be so much fun. Let's get loud. He is sick nasty. He is incredible. He looks really good in yellow. The word sensational comes to mind when we think of him. Let's please welcome from Big Brother 26, Quinn Martin.
Yeah! Woo! And listen, I'm going to start off strong. What a thing to be known for. A series of compliments. You know, there are people who, oh, what did they do on reality TV? And then you go through a list of crimes and lines that they crossed. Mine is a set of compliments.
Yours is probably one of my favorite Big Brother quotable monologues of all time. So...
Oh my God, that's huge. That's huge. Thank you so much. And I'll have a Beyond the Edit story for that too. So don't even stress.
Amazing. I love that. So welcome. I've been looking for, actually, when I created the show, your name was actually first on my list. So I'm glad we're finally getting our schedules together to make this finally happen. First of all, before we say anything else, here's my little ass kissy part. Thank you so much for always showing up to our watch parties. Like, you bring the energy and everyone gets so excited when you show up. I mean, I get really excited, but you just bring the vibes and the energy and your interactions with the fans and everything and the time that you take. I'm pretty sure the first one you ever came to, you were the last one there. Like, me and you closed down the bar, it felt like. So I really, really appreciate you. And I know everyone else does too, because you have been our number one most requested guest.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And sorry, I failed you. I was in the process of Sarah did all the due diligence, sending the message. I was like, of course. And then we got into the scheduling. I had a trip to Ireland. And so then I was like, okay, let me get this on the calendar after the fact. And yeah, your watch parties are great. If anyone is in the Texas area, the Oklahoma area, honestly, fly in. They're so great. Sarah does a great job of putting them together. And like she said, I close them down. I love showing. I'll talk to the fans in a way where it feels like I'm bothering them. Every time I'm like, no, we could talk about week 4 if you want. And they're like, I've never watched the show. I just like Traitors. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Just here for Traitors. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Well, before we get into everything, I want to give a moment to our Patreon community. They are the reason that this show exists, and I don't take that for granted. One of the perks of being a supporter is you can submit questions for our guests, and if yours gets selected, you can actually pop in live and ask yourself. Quinn, I actually had to break my 2-question rule because you were such a huge hit. The comment section was popping off. So we're going to start with Jenny Rue. Our Patreon support, she actually is behind all of our Beyond the Edit swag and just all around icon. Jenny Rue wants to know, Quinn, you always seem to have such a positive vibe, always smiling and joking. What are some of the things that you do to help keep that energy on days that you don't feel your best?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. I think that I've always been naturally optimistic. I've been on more losing soccer teams than I've been on winning. And so we could be down by 8 goals. And ever since I was a kid, I'd be like, it's all right, guys. We got this. We can come back. And it's we're not. So I've always had the delusion to be excited in the face of adversity. I would say in terms of things that people can do to practice that. I think it's a skill. I think that something that I learned is people are trying their best. Even if and so there could be a lot of judgment, but it should never come from a I'm better than you perspective. And so I think that if someone's being a little cringe or weird, my optimistic attitude is like, they're just trying to make friends or they're just trying to be funny. And so I try to like be empathetic for others. And I think that that makes it easier to be like excited for things going around me. And then there is a book that I don't know if it's good. It's like the one book that I read in college. It's called, oh my God. It's something about like, you stay inside your box, and so you understand the things that are in your control, and you don't let other people's actions or words take you outside of your box. It's like a businessy, like whatever, but I took the like greater idea of like the concepts and I applied that to my life. So if you want to read this thick of a book, that's one that helped me with like Big Brother and stuff like that, where I'm like, not gonna let other people take me out of my character. I'm just gonna react as myself and see how that fits in with the situation.
Oh, I love that. And we love a book. So when you think of the book, I can add it. I can add it in later. But yeah, that's awesome. Our next question comes from Tay. She actually has 2 questions. The first one, as the first jury member, what is one thing you were looking forward to having all to yourself again? Something that you missed having alone when you first got to the jury house?
Oh man. I loved, oh gosh, I don't know. I was pretty disappointed to be in there. I would say being able to journal was really nice. I knew how fast, or how fleeting those like remembering those like small moments would be, and especially before I get my phone. I didn't want my memories to be tainted by what like is in the edit. And so I loved journaling. That's something that I really value doing by myself. Shout out to the like jury house like managers. I love to eat by myself. When I was working like, you know, the 9 to 5, I was a eat in my car person because I don't want to look at anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to I really don't want to talk. Like I just want to be in the moment and just like quiet. And then usually like watching a Mike Bloom interview or something. But that was something that I was looking forward to. But the jury house managers were such good people that they were like, we don't want this guy whose entire life dream got like thrown into a trash compactor a week ago. We don't want him eating by himself. So they'd be there with me as I'm eating. And I'm like, I'm good. Know that you're being polite and you're being nice and this is how you show care. But I would rather die than have to have a conversation in between everybody. But yeah, so eating by myself would have been great. Okay. And then journaling.
Got it. And the next one was, are there any jury house secrets that you can share?
Oh my gosh. They are like are we allowed to curse on this broadcast?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay, they're like on your ass. Like if I'm the first juror and you're the second juror, they are going to have this conversation with you 7 million times. Look, you're going to want to talk about the game, but you can't do that unless the camera is here, like blah, blah, blah. And I get the sentiment, but I need all the information. And I know that like other people are going to forget. And then it's like, okay, you don't even remember what we did 2 weeks ago. So that was something they messed up with T-Core and I. They told us like, oh yeah, you guys can talk in the like movie theater room while we're doing whatever outside. I said, can we talk game? Knowing that they told us we can't, but like, you might as well ask the big guy here. And he was like, yeah, you could talk game if you want. And so I cashed in immediately. I talked to T-Core for like an hour and a half to 2 hours straight, asking like every single question that imaginable. I asked her like what the name of her final 3 was with Rubina and Chemo. Didn't have a name, to which then I had an issue with. I was like, you guys hung out 24/7. You didn't think to slap a name on it for the like, you know, TV show that we're on? Like nothing.
Listen, your season was terrible about naming shit. As someone who has a business or centered around a spreadsheet called the BB Bible, where every alliance that if formed gets logged, I'm having to put question marks or the name just being like Quinn/Leah/ like there's just, I don't know what, there was no names, and it made the alliance graphs very difficult. And your season was the worst about it.
We're on TV. If there's anyone going to be on Big Brother 28 right before they get on into sequester and they're going to watch this, put a name on it, and then maybe you can sell merch afterwards. Maybe that's what we need to do. Guys, you can sell merch. You can do your poses, and you're like Johnny Bravo's never left the house. Like, whatever. Just do it because we're on TV, you know? And so I would say that was the secret. And there's varying strictness. And like there was one person in particular that would like really let us know, guys, you can't be talking game. You can't be talking game. I'm like, that's great. The second you leave, I'm going to talk game. I don't actually care about what you had for breakfast. I need to know like how, like what
was the vibe when you left? And yeah.
Like, did you try to make any deals? Because in my head, I was like, if you offered someone a deal and then I'm able to ask, like, would you have been honest? Because then that's a whole nother like set of circumstances. And then someone turns down that deal to do something less optimal. I want to know that so I can like decide who the better player is, especially in the end game. If we were following those production rules, we didn't have enough time during filming to be able to ask those questions. And so, yeah, that's a secret is, you're not allowed to talk game unless the cameras are rolling.
I love that. I actually have never heard that. So new news to me. Okay, but we have one more. This one's extra special because this person's not just a Patreon supporter. He is also a sponsor of Beyond the Edit. You may know him. Please welcome Mr. Rogers of Kinetic Management. Come on in.
What's up? How are you?
Up?
What's your question for Quinn?
All right, so Quinn, you've probably been asked this before, but I'm going to say it. I'm a fellow Oklahoman. I'm from Moore. So I know a little bit about Lawton, probably the things that everyone else knows Lawton for.
Crime!
1000%. So Quinn, you were a military brat being there. Your dad was in the Army. You had people rotating in and out of your life, just saying goodbye every couple of years and everything like that. So I got to ask, is that what trained you to make all those alliances, become everybody's best friend, and then stab them in the back without blinking?
Oh, 1,000,000%. First of all, love that you're from Moore. I had a teammate, Carlos, who was he played soccer in Westmore. So shout out to Moore. I literally think about this all the time, even down to people missing their families. They're like, we've been in there for 2 weeks, and they're like, I just need my family right now. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from. My dad did a bazillion deployments to Iraq, and I was in elementary school, and I was able to conceptualize oh well, that's his job, he's got to go. So me being in the Big Brother house, it was so easy to compartmentalize and be like, I'm gonna see my family eventually, so I'm not too worried about it. And then I definitely think that being a military brat, you're forced to make new friends. If you see an unfamiliar face at the first day of school, that kid probably moved here over the summer. And so the nicest thing you can do is open the door and be like, hey, welcome to our friend group. We just lost 2 people last year. You're kind of in the replacement team. We got to rebuild our numbers. And so, I definitely think being a military brat was super beneficial. And then, it's stabbing him in the back. That's we got to do it. It's Big Brother. You got to stab someone in the back. If not, I feel like you wasted your time in there.
Well, multiple people for Mr. Quinn, of course.
Well, and I love that you are sporting your Beyond the Edit merch.
Yeah, this is great. Oh my God.
That is not unnoticed. You can buy it on Jenny Rue's shop on Etsy. We love Jenny Rue. Quinn is familiar with Jenny Rue's work. She did all of their swag bags that they get. Yeah. So there's more Jenny Rue's work. So thanks for showing up in your BTE merch. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Quinn. Great meeting you.
Shout out to Craig. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Love your mustache.
Thank you. You too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
He likes my mustache. It does exist.
Well, that being, we're going to end on that note, but I do want with our Patreon to wrap that up by special thanks to our sponsors. Whether you're a reality star, a creator, or just out here doing your own thing, trying to make it make sense, you need a team that moves behind you, that moves as fast as you do. That's Kinetic Management. We're talking brand deals, booking, strategy. They keep the momentum going so you can just stay in your lane and actually get paid. You just saw Mr. Rogers on the screen. That's the energy that they bring. So go check them out at Kinetic Management. This will be in the show notes as well. I don't know why I stumbled there at the end. So let's go. Oh, okay. Thank you. I love our Patreon community so much. Thank you guys for your great questions. Now let's get to the deep stuff. Not so deep.
Let's do it.
So you, I love that you, by the way, I rode hard for you because from just cast announcement, like in the draft, I was like, he's a super fan. He's in the BB streets. I was looking at your Twitter. Like I was like, he is one of us. So having Big Brother be like a bucket list item for you, when was the moment that you realized like you were not just a fan anymore, you were going to actually be on the show? Like when was that? Walk us through. Where were you? What did it feel like?
I think where I truly accepted that it was going to happen and not get snatched away from me was on stage when they filmed us walking into the house. I was like, logistically, they cannot refilm that. I was like, we're in the house. We've already reacted. This is real. And I think that was like, at no point do they tell me I was an alternate. I was cut during the casting process. Like they normally fly people to LA. I did not get flown out. They told me, Quinn, don't give up. You're a star. You didn't do anything wrong. Like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep applying until I die. And then after they meet everyone in LA, I get a FaceTime and they said, we met with everyone. Long story short, you're in the top whatever again. We're going to have to move forward to get a bunch of stuff from you on a faster paced schedule.
Right.
And so for me, I had recognized I'd already accepted that I wasn't on Big Brother 26 a week before that. And so going through it, I was like, there's a pretty good chance that I'm an alternate or whatever. I don't know how this works. And so even at one point they said, congratulations, you're on the show. I was like, they probably tell all the alternates that. Even in sequester, I'm sitting there doing all the press, and I just didn't want to get my hopes up too high because I was like, imagine how devastating that.
Wait, but you had the candy salad promos and stuff, right? Was that y'all?
Yes.
Yeah, the candy salad. So when is that in the process? Even then you were like, they could still cut me?
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. I was like, so I was just like, they could take this away at any moment. Who knows what this there might be a different person who looks exactly like me going through the casting process. I have no clue. And so once we got in the house, I was like, this is real. And it's funny, there were no live feeds or anything. If you ask Brooklyn what her first impression of me, it was that I was scared. And I remember my legs were shaking, uncontrolled. I felt in my head, I was like, this is so exciting. This is going to be awesome. Let's do this. But my body was shaking out of nervousness, especially waiting for the second moving group to come in. And it's so funny. I think about some of the decisions I made early game. And part of that is people think, oh, Quinn was whatever. I'm like, no, I did not feel good in the first couple of days because it was just scary. It's you can conceptualize being a player, but then the second you are one, I was like, all these people are so smart. All these people have they have successful lives, things going for them. How am I supposed to keep up? I felt like I was transparent. Everyone could see right through me. And I was like, we are at risk. They're going to find out I'm a liar in 30 seconds. And it only took 3 weeks, but I was like, they're going to figure it out way too quick. And so, yeah, I think it was literally walking the house was okay, they can't refilm this.
Right.
We are a Big Brother player. This is huge.
Oh, well, I mean, everyone asks all the time, why don't they cast more super fans and why don't they I feel like you did a great job of, first of all, couldn't tell that you were scared. And I typically have a really good read on people's emotions and their early day vibes. But as a super fan, someone who watches the live feeds and is into the show, I feel like fewer of them get cast because we tend to overthink and be less entertaining because we're so hyper focused on what we should be doing and comparing our moves to previous moves, or like overthinking what the twist could be because it could be this, because we know about all of them. Whereas if you're like recruited to the show, you're kind of going in blind just to kind of be yourself and play a game. So you're not really like thinking too deep into it, which tends to kind of benefit. I feel like you did a really good job of you and Corey. I feel like both were kind of like the great examples of how a super fan can navigate the game and not, I don't know what was going on in your brain, would love for you to tell me, but from the outside, it looked like you were really pacing yourself.
I was trying my best. Thank you so much for saying that. I think that one of the issues is with a lot of super fans, we're too focused on the idea of like playing optimally and like, oh, well, you can't engage with any arguments, because I watched Big Brother 16, and when Derek won in such a dominant fashion, his strategy was to be able to like solve the drama and stuff like that. And so I would say like, you can be a super fan and you can still be messy, and that's how you create plot for the show that you're on. And so
yeah,
it's okay to be messy. Just got to be willing to get through it. And I feel like I was delusional enough to be like, with each final two, whatever, I just told myself, I could probably figure it out. It'll probably be okay. And I rode that until it was truly impossible for it to be okay. And so I think like casting should look for super fans that are capable of playing a dominant game, but more importantly, are able to play in a way that is like not always the most optimal gameplay. I feel like that is something that reality TV struggles with. Like Survivor, the strategy now is like, don't fly too close to the top or the middle or at the bottom, just stay in the middle, make one big move, and then you win. Like new era, like we gotta get some messy people in there. And so yeah,
I feel like 50's been a really good shakeup of that, having these old school players come back in and really just fighting everything that Joe stands for. It's been really beautiful to see. So.
I love Joe is so great to me, because that is a man who truly is like stressed out at the like potential of playing Survivor. I think that that's awesome. Like I think so many people watch TV and think I could never do that. And Joe watched it and was like, it's a shame that everyone has to do this. I'd hate to be on a show where lying is like the like backbone of everything we do. And it's crazy. They're forcing, this is my state mandated participation in Survivor, not once, but twice. Like I think that is a great dynamic. Him hating Rick Devin's guts, that makes me so happy. It reminds me of
so like, great.
Like me and Tucker. Tucker truly hated my guts in a way that is like, I find funny. It's like, yeah, it's like, I find joy in that, knowing that it bothered him so much. Even if you watch Tucker's exit press, he's still talking about how like, I've got this steaming red hot katana blade to stab people in the back. That brings me joy. And I feel like, I hope that Rick Devens feels the same way about Joe, because that's so funny to me that like, you just want to go out there and play a big game and be flashy and make mistakes, be messy. Let's play with everything you got. And that just truly bothers someone to their core. Chef's kiss.
I just said this that you and Rick, I said Rick Devens reminds me a lot of you. And I would love to see the two of you bring your chaos to a game together.
Let's be on what is it? Got to Get Out season 2. Put me and Rick in there, you know?
Yes, I would love to see it. Oh, okay. So I want you to do something for me. I want you to write me a brutally honest candidate summary about your own game. I want to hear about what your strengths were, and then your red flags. Like, you are recruiting yourself for all-star seasons. Like, what does that write-up say?
Well, the first thing I would say is I would compare myself in my game to Icarus, where it's like, it's just genetic. I'm going to fly too close to the sun. I'm going to like take those risks. It doesn't matter what the like game, it doesn't matter what the format is. I'm someone who's going to like be a crucial part of the plot, not because I'm such a terrible game like player, but because I'm so interested in like participating. I think that that's something that like every season needs, is someone who is like, for better or worse, they're active. I think that that's a pretty good like synopsis of my game. messy, never malicious. You don't have to worry about like me being like brutally cruel just to fit in for a moment. I feel like being polite and kind is a way more optimal way to connect with people. It also hurts more when they have to vote you out. They all feel like pieces of trash, which is always great. And I just think like, I think that I'm enthusiastic, a try hard, and willing to embarrass myself. Especially going into an all-star season, it's like, I'm willing to walk in front of 1,000 more rakes. I'm okay if another HOH doesn't go my way. That's kind of the standard for me. An overthinker. I think that if I were to like really critique my game, I was on the assumption that everyone else was playing as hard as I was. And why, like, I have no idea why I didn't believe Mackenzie when she said she wanted to play an honest game. She had not done anything that was like even remotely deceptive the entire time.
Yeah.
But when she tells me, I just want to play an honest game, I'm like, yeah, me too.
Sure.
Man. We've been having those conversations.
We're all playing honest game.
Yeah, I want to be a good person. Sure, Mackenzie, right? And then she is such a loyal player to Chelsea. It's like, damn, I should have just been like, me too, let's do it. And yeah, so I would say that that's the cornerstone. You know, I'm going to try really hard. I play as if the only option is to win. And so if I lose, I'm playing with something like a lot on my chest. Like I carry the baggage. I'm not going to go in there and be nonchalant. I'm a very chalant person. I think that that's how I work.
Very chalant. I like that. That's your next merch shirt. Just chalant. Just chalant. Love that. I already told you, like, I rode hard for you. And one of the things that I couldn't really grasp, and I tend to have a really good, Sharon Tharp and I were just talking about this. We have a plan that if every house guest could just be put into a war room with like me and Sharon and Taryn, and be given like the lowdown of like what the Twitter streets are saying and like the vibes, and they're like, you know, just to better acclimate them. Because the acclimation to the outside, the response on Twitter, I could never really understand to a lot of what people were saying. It didn't make sense to me. It wasn't logical, but of course, a lot of these people aren't logical. First of all, I'm really sorry that you had to see all that, but what was like the craziest thing, like the most absurd kind of rhetoric or whatever that you saw when you came out of the house and got back on social media?
I think there's two that comes to mind. When I did not take Rubina's friendship bracelet, it is so funny that like people were so upset, and to the point where I assumed Rubina was like America's favorite player because so many of my exit press questions involved that. And it was funny because in the moment she tries to give it to me, I very respectfully say, no, I didn't come here for that. I see it made her upset. And then I'm like, okay, I'll wear your friendship bracelet. That is like a 2-second interaction.
Okay.
After 59 days of footage of who I am and how I've behaved and everything. And then there are tweets where it's like, and the mask comes off. Always knew he was a piece of shit. Like whatever. And they're talking about me as if like I'm just this terrible person. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I took it at the end of the day. Like I lost out on my dream, and I was less than polite to someone who was still living my dream. And then I did what I could to make them feel better at the moment. I don't know. And then I think that people who were saying I was disingenuous and like playing a character, that's something that really bothers me because I'm like, I am loud. I am like this. Like, I don't understand. And it's so funny.
If you guys want any further proof, just get on Chat BCC. If you see a voice memo or a voice comment come through from Quinn, check your speakers, but hit play. It's a laugh.
And that's like in real life, I can't send a text message because it doesn't convey how energetic or excited I am about this topic. Like I have to send audio messages. And that was something that like always drove me crazy was like, I know that there's a clip of Taryn where he's saying like, after I'm crying because I lost the wall, he's like suggesting that this is the real Quinn. And that like, you know, the reason people don't like him is because he's coming off disingenuous. And I'm like, if you just knew any of my friends, they would be able to like confirm, like, no, Quinn is that loud and excitable and like whatever, you know, that's who he is. I am also a deeply emotional person. So it's like, it's crazy that it took me to be down, hurt, and sad for people to consider me as like a complete person, when it's just like, I was excited to live my dream. I was excited to play the best game on reality TV. Like, how could anyone not be overly optimistic and like in the face of error over error of like, or things not working out for me, I was still able to laugh at myself in the diary room. People are saying I'm playing a character, and it's just like, that's who I am. That's how I got on the show. I didn't go on Big Brother and they told me to be loud. I got on Big Brother because I'm loud, and they knew that they would get that from me in the diary room. And so it's just like, I don't know. I am loud. I mean, is crazy. That's why people don't like me. But I'm like, that's me. So it's like,
I don't think that's necessary. I don't think I definitely don't think that's the case. I think when you're locked in the house, then people made those assumptions. But you came out of the house and have been on social media now for, you know, going on two years. People have come to know that this is who you are. So I don't think that anyone would say that you're disingenuous still to this day. I never felt that. I remember, I don't remember exactly what the tweet was, but I was like, are you guys good? Like, he's one of us. Because all I kept feeling in the moment is he is emoting exactly how I would imagine I would emote if I were in that house. He is the proper amount of freaking the fuck out that I would be if I got cast on this show. Not that I would ever, we don't even apply in it. From season 19 was the last season I applied for.
Okay.
But that's another story. But if I, as a super fan of that level, like that's how I would be. And that's all it came across as to me. And of course, now I've met you in person so many times, but things like that, things like the stories that I've heard from so many alumni are the reason that I formatted and made this show the way it is, or what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a show where it helps the very toxic fan base touch grass. Because I feel like people really forget that you guys are real people, and you're going on television to win a shit ton of money away from your family for our entertainment, and people like feel like they have rights, and it's rights to you and access to your family and things that you did not give them access to. So I love that you were very much yourself, and I really appreciate it. And I hate that that's what you came out to. I'm hoping really that we could start to change the culture in the BB streets over time.
That'd be great. Yeah, I would love that. And it's such a funny thing where if I got out of the house and it was like an apocalypse and the only record of whatever of Big Brother 26 happening was Twitter, I would, even people changed their mind towards the end and they started to understand who I was. And then that's how I was able to, like, you know, turn it around, I guess. But it's so funny. I've met like so many fans in real life, especially with their kids, and they're so excited to meet me. And they're like, you are so fun, like whatever. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'm being loud. And then their like reaction to that isn't like, ugh, there's the loudness. It's like,
right.
That's why we watch Big Brother. Like, one of my favorite players of all time is Paul, you know?
Yeah.
I love Paul. So for me, I want to be loud in the diary room because that's what resonated with me as a fan. And so I'm just like, the Twitter does not represent like real life at all. I've never met someone
who just seems to be the loudest at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like when you are a super fan. Like, the reason why I got into like started watching like RHAP and stuff like that is it wasn't enough to just watch the show and then just like hang out and like maybe text my mom about it or talk to my one coworker. It was nice to be able to see what everyone else is feeling. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, when you're a super fan and that's how you engage with the fandom beforehand, I think I might be one of the only Big Brother 26ers who's really on Twitter. And that's been a decision where I'm shrinking that, where I'm much more on Blue Sky now. But
yes,
Yeah, we can definitely clean
I
up
think
the
we all
fandom.
I think we all kind of started moving away from, I'm not calling it X, but like during
No,
when it
Twitter, yeah.
transitioned to the new name, I feel like that's when things just started, it even got progressively worse, but it is not. I think Chat BCC is like my new home. That's where I find my people. But yeah, like you, I started TikToking Big Brother because no one else was, and no one in my life was talking about it, and all I had was RHAP. And I was like, I have things I need to say. So I just started TikToking it. It was like season 22.
That's
Season
awesome.
22. Yeah. And then now it's huge. There's a whole Big Brother talk. So it's fun. That's my favorite part, is like the community, the real community, the people that are coming out to the watch parties. Um, they're so fun. And you're right. You're a huge hit. My son doesn't give two shits about Big Brother, but he adores you.
Yes. That's what it takes. That's
Yeah.
all you need, Yeah, we can definitely be the pushers of like what the fandom could be. I try my best to like it, unless someone is being like problematic or weird, I'll comment like, and acknowledge like, yo, this is crazy that they're doing this. But if someone's a messy game player,
Yeah.
my goal as a fan is to like ask the questions to understand what they're not seeing, and then celebrating that we're getting messy TV, like,
Yeah. And
I
for
think
the
if
record, on the disingenuous side, if someone wants to go on Big Brother and play a character, I'm all about it. If you want to go on and you want to be a villain, or you want to be just like, go for it. That's fine. If you don't care about the strategy side or how far you get in the money, whatever. I mean, the world needs all flavors of ice cream. Okay. I can appreciate somebody who's on to be a character too. So I still don't think like even the whole, like, if they're
crime, not that crazy.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, sometimes I wish there were more like, because now we're getting into other shows. We see like Paul, speaking of Paul, like on House of Villains, like you're on House of Villains, like lean into it. Like we want to see that kind of stuff. So I like that you found the balance for both, like being yourself and a character. So,
oh yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about the deep fake HOH. It is one of the most talked about moments. I know you've been asked a million questions. All I really want to know here, I need it from your perspective as a super fan. When you got this, where you're like, first of all, you're kind of setting me up for failure with this twist. How is this not going to be figured out? Like, what was going through your mind? Were you like, are you fucking kidding? Or were you like really excited about it?
I was super excited about it just because I felt like I needed a tool to like open the door with people. The reason why I told Angela about it is at the time, like literally day 3.5, she was in the best position. She was like the most liked person in the house, and she's the HOH. So I'm like, I'm so glad that I have actual negotiating like power to share and like form a final two that's like very beneficial for me. Day 4 then happens where I'm like, what are the chances of that? That's unfortunate. Like, but when I got it, I was just excited because I knew it meant like, if I even sniff that I might be in trouble, I'll pull it and I don't care. Like, go ahead. And then it ended up being like, I liked Chemo. Chemo was in a really bad spot week 1. And so I'm like, I'm going to tell this guy about my upgrade to make him feel better about like, hey, we're going to get through this together. We can do it. And so I feel justified on the decision of who I told. And then, okay, so we had to do like a split where it's like yes or no. We knew what both of the competitions were. So it was like a question of, my assumption was that more people said yes than actually ended up, like it was me and Leah competing. And that makes no sense to me because like
Was it the yes or no to Ainsley?
Yes. And it was so obvious that Ainsley was going to give you, she was like, it would be very beneficial to your game to vote yes. And in my head, I was like, so there's a good incentive here. And then she said it would be bad if you said no. So in my head, when everyone was saying that they said no, I assumed there were some liars in the mix. So like, of course. I told everyone that I said yes, just because I knew that like no one's gonna think that I'm an influencer and here for other reasons outside of being a super fan. And so I just wanted to come off like a good person who was like really honest, and I didn't have the heart to say no to a super fan. When in reality, I had my eyes set on like the likely incentive. My biggest regret is that no one heard the deep fake part. Like I got to do a full like thing with Angela's like whatever, and I gave them a full script. We probably burnt down an entire rainforest with the AI. I gave them a full script where I roasted every single person in the house from the perspective of like it coming from Angela.
Oh my God.
It didn't show in the edit. They didn't show like because I think during the instigator, everyone saw our reactions to it.
Okay.
They didn't do that for our deep fake. So like I said that Cam was like two toddlers on each other's shoulders wearing a trench coat, and one of them's Rubina. And then it was like just dumb jokes about everyone. Like Brooklyn's real name is Manhattan or something like that. Like I had a full like roast for each person. And then it like didn't even Leah's underwear brand was Say Swa, and I was like, Say Swa, more like Say Blah, weak ass underwear brand. And it was just like lightly making fun of everyone. And then Angela, being Angela, she's sitting there, she's like, I didn't say these things. I didn't. And we're all like, we're aware. Angela, we don't think that you recorded these things. Quinn came clean the other day and said that he was, what? But yeah, that was something I was sad about, was like no one got to see the deep fake because I thought they were funny. I thought they were good.
Yeah. Well, so we saw a clip of Angela reacting, because I remember that was hilarious, because it was like everyone knows it's a deep fake. But Angela's reaction to whatever the clip they did show, like just the explanation of
it was like the nominations, and she's like,
something like that. But she's like freaking out. We're like, I mean, we know too. We know that they don't know, but like her reaction. So now that reaction makes a little bit more sense. Hilarious.
It was like a whole separate thing. Like it pushed it back hours. That's what happened. It like the normal meeting would have happened at like noon. We didn't get called until like 5:36 because it was late in the day, and it was probably because they're like, we got to like do the actual deep fake technology to do this. Absolutely insane.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. Well, your diary rooms. I wish you would have. Man, gosh. Now I'm thinking like, I want to hear these roasts and I want to hear them come out of Angela's mouth. But your diary rooms also were one of my favorite things. Was there a diary room that didn't make the cut that like, did you ever go off about something like truly heinous or something in there and it didn't make when you watch the episodes back, it wasn't in there? Or were there so many of them you can't remember?
That I would get called in like every day around 2 a.m. That was kind of like the sweet like spot. They knew that they could get good stuff out of me at that time.
Okay.
Versus if you call in Joseph at like 10:30 at night, his eyes are going to be really red. He's going to be a little eepy. And so it's funny that they like figure out who they can call in late at night. I remember there's like one where I'm like, oh my God, like in reaction to Angela like getting in a fight with Kenny, and I said something that it was like I'm watching Jurassic Park with like two dinosaurs going at it or something like that. I don't know. Oh man.
I need to know what. Well, now you're saying two dinosaurs going at it. Tell me your POV for the crazy eyes moment.
Oh, that was. Oh, also, I had no clue when she was like, to the visitors last night. She was talking about me and Joseph. I had no clue. At no point was I like, this is about me. I was like, who is visiting her place? That's crazy. It felt like in the moment, like someone was doing a bit. Like I thought that this was like a joke. I could not believe that someone was throwing away their chances at $750,000 on day 4. Like in that moment, I watched like the win equity go to 0. Like, and I couldn't believe it. And then I was just like, wow, this is insane. And then I remember Matt being like, my mom watches this. And she's like, your mom raised a brat. And I'm like, oh my God. Because Matt was such a like very clear, obvious, like mama's boy, which is like, it was endearing. It was like, oh, he really cares about like that. Like, and so when she said that, I was like, yeah, we should probably leave family out of it, guys. I like after the fact, I was like, I don't think that we should be doing that, because he was really upset that like she brought up his mom and everything.
I mean, he's
like,
still upset, so
yeah, he's still losing sleep about it. I literally could not fathom it. I like had just told her about like the power and everything, so I was like, even if you're like stressed out about it, I just assured you that if it starts getting crazy, week 2, we can just use the deep fake and buy us some time. Like, I was like, I painted a great, like, we're week 3 right now. If we like just hang out and like whatever, we can go to week 3 and it won't be an issue. And instead, it was just like instant. I can't work with her, but I'm now associated with her. And now I gotta like diffuse this bomb every like 45 minutes, which like as a super fan, I can appreciate like, this is probably crazy to watch. But as a player, I was like, why are you doing this to me? Like
that was
like,
my
we
next
can get out of this.
My next question for you was like, at what point did it really sink in that was like going to be an iconic moment? Like to see that in real life, because that's the kind of stuff that like on the live feeds, we're all live, like tweeting, get on the feeds right now, to, you know, like red alert. But to be there in person, like how long did that sit in?
I thought that people were not going to enjoy it. I thought like, because it came off very like scripted. And so like, I literally said, I was like, we get it. You wanted your TV moment. That's great. Like whatever. I felt like Tucker's like the Angela's best is when she's like reacting in the moment. Like when she gets that veto put on her, I was like, there's like a scene where she like rubs her photo of her family and she's like, I have to be strong. I'm like, that is Angela at her best.
Laying on the floor while her charcuterie's being eaten. It's like top tier.
Like that stuff is like, that's why Angela needs to be on every single TV show. But I did not, I thought that people would be very cynical. Like in the same way that people didn't like Jimmy's speeches because they were like so rehearsed. I think Jimmy went even further than what Angela did. I kind of thought that people would react that way. But I think I underestimated how quickly people would understand the campiness of Angela. Of like, you see
there was I mean, Angela's very still like polarizing and is very polarizing in the community. I mean, my husband is a very casual Big Brother fan. Okay. It's very casual. And he doesn't watch a lot of reality TV either. So he doesn't have appreciation for like the big person, like the Nene Leaks of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have that appreciation. We go to Kat's party and I'm like, Quinn's here. Oh my gosh. I didn't know you were going to be there. And then I look over and there's Angela, and my husband, who never goes to those events with me, is with me. And I was like, it's Angela. He goes, oh,
And then I guarantee you he was like blown away by how great she is in real life too.
We sat with her. We sat right next to her.
It's so funny when people meet her and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, her like lashing out at us was a direct response to the stress. I at no point was like, this is who this lady is. She's crazy and evil, like whatever. I was like, this is a woman under stress reacting very poorly. Like very poorly. Oh my God.
But very entertainingly. And I think also what you guys had a different perspective from than from the outside is Matt was not a fan. We did not like Matt. I didn't like Matt from pre-season, like from from when the cast jump. My red flags just started flying up. And he wasn't a fan favorite. And so to see this moment, you guys were taking it as like she just like kicked the fan favorite in the golden boy, the mama's boy, and we're all like just like with our popcorn, you know. It was a very different.
She did choose like the best guy, like choosing the athletic, handsome guy. What a great move! Like PR, like publicists everywhere, are like, do that. If you're gonna target someone, target the like ripped, handsome guy, because they can handle it. You would think they could handle it. Yeah,
Meanwhile,
and
Quinn just said no thanks to a friendship bracelet to Rubina, and the internet lost its mind.
Like, I just think it's so funny, like, because after he was put on the block, it was like immediately we recognized this is the guy who would make it very far every season, you know? He has everything going for him. We're gonna send you home instantly. And so it's very funny that like that reaction probably was rooted in like this guy's pretty well connected. This is crazy. And then the second we have the chance to get rid of him, it's like, oh well, we're for sure gonna do that. We don't care that much about the golden boy. Let's get him out of here.
It iconic. Just there's so many things that are just so
Greatest
iconic.
season in the last decade. I'm so thankful that like I'm so thankful for my cast. We all showed out.
Your season is the only season specific Big Brother merch I own. I have Janky World merch. And then I have, that's it. That's it. That's it. Other than that, it's just basic. And I wear it all the time. It was an iconic season. My last question before we're going to play a game. I need to know like what your most unserious superstition you had in the house. Did you have any like little things that you had to do every day, or things that was there like an object in the house that you kept around? Or I feel like there was a vase.
Yes,
that thing. Yes.
AmeriCorps. I've dropped it, so it's very glued together. But I loved my vase. I thought that was like, and that's just something to me where I think it's funny to hang out. Like my friend Wyatt, when he saw the tweets about like people being like, why does he have that vase? And he goes, Quinn just thinks that's funny, and it's not funny to just have like an inanimate like stuffed animal, like or a ceramic stuffed animal. Very dumb bit, but in my head, I'm like, this is so funny to just cuddle this.
I think that's an upgrade from Orwell. I mean,
yeah. Shout out, oh man, and then Izzy's cat. That one is at least like survived multiple seasons. Other superstitions. I love crossing my fingers for good luck. Like if you look at when I get voted out, I'm crossing both of my fingers on, like whatever. Just hoping. I was like, probably going on, but maybe they changed their mind. I watched this happen like a week ago, so maybe people will be like, let's change our mind. Other than that, I think like I don't know.
This is so random and not in my script, but I just thought about it. I've never asked anybody, what does the house smell like? Like when you first get there, before the stench of uncleanliness sets in.
I think it like there's got to be like hints of like a bleached rundown. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they're like doing like a Clorox wipe immediately
hospital
after.
Sterile.
Like just very clean. And then it picks up whatever the scent is of all the food and stuff like that. Yeah. Luckily, we had Tucker on our season, and he would like scrub the floor, and it wasn't enough to like scrub the floor. He would look at you like you're a piece of garbage for not cleaning. So it became like oh, there's Tucker. Oh, here I am. I'm picking something up. Don't glare at me, please. I'm picking up. And like I think that really, really helped the house was that Tucker would take it so personally that he'd be like, they're letting it get messy in here. Like he'd be so upset. And I
never picked up on that. It's like all the times in the feeds, I would have never pegged him as like the neat freak of the house.
Oh yeah. He would scrub the like kitchen floor. And it was like when we're trying to convince Rubina to like do it, like get into a showmance, like this is like week 1 or 2. That was one of the pitches from Chemo was that like he's a very clean person. He has a full skincare routine. Like he really takes care of himself. And I mean, he's a model, so of course. Yeah. But that was like part of the pitch to Rubina is like this guy takes care of himself. Like that might extend he'll take care of you, make sure that like you never have to like stress or anything. He's gonna make sure everything's okay. Like, and then being a super fan, I want a showmance to happen. So I'm like, just do it. Love is real. Come on, go out there, please.
Oh, I love that. And then he was in a showmance with as Rubina's the only player in Big Brother history that's ever given me cuteness aggression. And it got really bad when she was on Amazing Race. I was just like, I just have so much cuteness aggression with her. Like, I just love her so much.
Rubina is the best. Shout out.
She is the best. Actually, my first time meeting Brooklyn in person was at a watch party that season. She came with Kat, and they show up, and it was the Rubina untangling in the AI arena, but the untangling one, it was that episode. So it was like a really intense episode to be having a watch party. And the whole bar screamed. I've never heard anything like that. Okay, I want to play a game. This is a really fast-paced game. I want rapid-fire answers. You are back in an all-star season of Big Brother. I've sprinkled in Survivor players in here as well, but we're in for this scenario. We are in an all-stars Big Brother house. I'm going to give you some names, and in rapid-fire, you're going to tell me if you're going to align with them or target them. Are you ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you can give like a 5-second rapid reason as to your why, but Will Kirby.
Oh, work with. I like good TV, and he's committed to that.
Janelle.
I'll work with her just because of Big Brother 22. She deserves a good ally, so I would say I would be on looking out for her for this other super fans.
Got it. Dan Giesling.
Work with 1,000,000%.
Really? Okay. Derek.
I'm saying Derek Lavassu, you're going home. Oh my God, I've met Derek, and so I think it would be so funny. I'd be like, "Nice podcast studio," and I slam the door shut. No, yeah, Derek's pretty cool. I would for sure send him home, though. Yeah, he's going home.
Okay, for the Survivor chunk, Parvati.
Oh, work with 1,000,000%.
Tony Vlachos.
He's a cop. Send him home. Send him home.
We have it on record here on Beyond the Edit. Quinn does not like cops.
Yeah, Derek. I said no to Derek.
Sandra.
Oh, work with 1,000,000%. I've met her 2 or 3 times, and she's great. Like she is like the Rachel Riley of Survivor, where she keeps up to date with everything.
I accidentally just left her on red.
That's a tough.
Delivered. Yeah, I reached out to her to do the show, but I did it on Chat BCC because I'm verified on Chat BCC. So I was like, maybe this will give me a little bit more credibility. And turns out I don't get push notifications if I get a direct message back. And she messaged me back. She only messaged, "How long is the episode?" But I was like, but the fact that she messaged back in the first place, and it said like sent 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I will take 5 minutes if that's all you can spare. Just I'm so sorry. I didn't see your message. Yeah. Suri.
I feel like you have to work with. Me and her son have beef, so I wouldn't assume under any moment that she would be like, "I'm gonna work with this guy." And I understand. I wouldn't go after her, but I would be very much aware that, like, yeah, she's probably not a fan of mine, which is totally acceptable. Like, that makes sense.
Okay, and then from the new era, Tiffany Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, I've met her before. She would be great. She's a really loyal ally, too, so I would love to work with her.
She's my favorite. Tyler Crispin.
Work with 1,000,000%. He's one of my favorite players. He has long curly hair. That's my guy. Yeah, 1,000,000,000%.
I would like to know what y'all's alliance name would be. It has to be hair related, though. We'll need to think on that.
1,000,000%.
Xavier.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he was pretty loyal. I don't think he's like... I think that we get more personality than deception on a revisit of him. So I would feel comfortable working with him. I feel like I can also talk shop with him. I feel like that's
Did you ever watch him on The Anonymous?
No, but that is on my watch list. I do want to see that.
It's so good. It's so good. Okay. And then last, Davon.
Oh,
Mama Day.
1,000,000,000%. 100,000%.
You do play a risky game. I mean, keeping all the people. Keeping a lot of those players would like be very alarming to me. If they call you up and say, "Let's put you back on All Stars," but you get to bring someone with you, who are you bringing?
Oh man, if I could bring like any player,
like if you can say like another player, but they're going to be like your partner in this All Star season. Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. I would love to work with Jag in an all-star season just because I really like him in like the real world. He's a comp beast. I know he's loyal. And then I think that he would be much more open to my antics, of like explaining to him like, hey, I'm just gonna be your like weirdo gremlin demon that's like, I'm gonna be doing stuff, but I'm never gonna be working against you. That was something that I felt like I tried. Like I literally communicated that. I didn't even try. I literally communicated that to like T-Core and Chemo, where I was like, I know that I'm giving you a lot of information and I'm telling lies to other people. That is to help us. I am not going to lie to you, and I don't tell people what you say. She's like, oh yeah, I like that. I understand. And she did not like it. She just assumed that oh my God. I think back and finding out that she said, we can't trust Quinn because he told us about the Pentagon. That keeps me up at night. I'm like, I thought I made the right decision. I thought that made sense, but sure. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I would like to win HOH every single week too. So Jag is a great pick. I mean, he makes things look so easy.
Rick Devens, if I get to go into like the Survivor, I'd love to work like a Rizzo. I think that he and
would you play Survivor?
I would play Survivor. I think that I think I'm better suited for Big Brother. But yeah, I would play Survivor a million times over. Even like one of the like orgs or whatever. I heard that people actually go like camping and stuff like that. So if that's an option, or Steven from Survivor 49. Oh my God. It's like he and I, when we're talking, it's like two dogs getting like more and more excited at the sight of each other. And I think that would be great for me in an all-star
Steven's
season.
also a risky pick because, I mean, I just had Christina Mills on last episode, and when she talked about Steven and that's who she was closest with, but she didn't know until, I mean, he's so charismatic that he makes everyone feel like they're best friends. Like, he's just that guy.
I don't know. I feel pretty.
I think it's genuine. I will, on the record, I do think it's genuine. I just think he's magnetic. But I think it would be very hard to gauge how close your relationship with him is because there's probably 15 other people that feel they're just as close.
Oh yeah, but he's jacked and tall. So if we're between the two of us, and like the thing with like Dr. Will, I'd have to take into consideration. My assumption was there's a pretty good chance he's going to be the host of our roundtable. And I was like, he's probably going to be kind of a dick to me because he knows I'm a super fan. Like he's got to bully me a little bit. And if we did an all-star season, I would be under the assumption that he's making fun of me. Like, this guy thinks that we're friends. Can you believe that? Like, so I'd have to be, tread lightly, but.
Understand. Okay. We can't go without talking about season 28. We have a premiere date. So excited. What do you not want to see? If you could like have productions I don't want returning players either.
Or like I know that it's gonna happen again, like the AI arena. I truly am envious that like other people got to play like real Big Brother. Like what a dream to be able to backdoor someone. I think that if Big Brother 26 was like the traditional format, I feel like my win equity kind of skyrockets, like even more than it already was.
And Tucker would have been gone.
Yeah, but I don't even think he would have acted in that way. And then I think that would have given us more time to solidify like the underdogs, where it would have been me, him, Joseph, Chemo, Rubina, and T-Core. If he was a little bit more like nervous about like how definitive the block is, I think that gives us a little bit of time because we were interested in working together. He just didn't like that I was forming other alliances, playing Big Brother.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a big AI arena fan. Like I get that it creates stars. Like Keanu, against all odds, was able to go super far in the game. And that's a situation where I'm like, okay, at least Keanu's a really active player and is really messy. Yeah. But then we also got Kelly. She held us hostage to not wanting to play Big Brother the entire season. And she made it to jury with like no strategic moves made, nothing, just truly not wanting to play. And so I think that that's more likely to happen than we are to get like a Tucker or Keanu. I think we're playing with fire.
Yeah. And they did make it very clear. This is a format to stay. It has completely shifted like how you approach nominations and post veto ceremony. And I'm I think that there are some perks, but I think that there's more cons than pros. And then I feel like they made it very clear. I don't know how you felt about it, but I sure know how I felt about it. But they made it very clear that the White Locust style twist would be back. And that they have no remorse. They're standing 10 toes down on that. How did you, I mean, obviously it's Rachel Riley. We all felt about it. But as someone who's played this game, what are your thoughts on having a twist that can take you out with 0 votes, 0 nominations, 0 chance to save yourself other than a comp?
I mean, it's a waste of like people's time, you know, like what's the point of having like serious game conversations with people and like creating an infrastructure of like even built on lies and deception? At a certain point, you just have to be incredibly honest with everyone, because like, you know, the comp beast like type situation, they can like just muscle through social strategy. So it's like your best bet is to be honest. And then in terms of like the White Locust stuff, it's just like, what's the point? Like I think that at the worst, they should have been like done 3 rounds of the safety chain, and those were your nominees for the week or something like that. That would have been just so much better. I get that they want like that permanent whatever, but I don't know.
Even instant nomination going to a vote would have been better. Like instant, like you lose, you're on the block, and you have to pick whose place you're taking or something like that. Like you have to go on the block or something along those lines. But like, and then we're voting right now. But anything would have been. That was so tragic. And I keep telling my listeners, like, guys, y'all have to mentally prepare for it to happen again.
Oh, yeah.
And
imagine being Tyler Crispin in that situation. He got a new internship for the mastermind. He's looking to like explore things like professionally. He's got this new job. And then he witnesses the death of Rachel Riley. And it was probably hot outside. He was wearing a like full-on blazer and pants. He was probably sweaty. I would have wanted to die if I were him. I would have felt so uncomfortable. Like
he said he was very uncomfortable. He did not know the extent of the twist. He did an interview about this afterward, and he said that he was heartbroken for it, and that the whole set, like even like production and stuff like that, like everything, he said it would just got really heavy and somber, and it was just very clear that this was not the way they wanted this to go.
Yeah,
which we all got that, but you know, you play.
That's the risks that they're taking.
That's
you know, like
exactly,
and it's unnecessary. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I'm in a very much a love-hate relationship with the show, and it's largely due to stuff like that. So I'm really hoping that whatever they're planning for 28, they scale it back. But either way, I'm really excited. And then, do you have like a theme for Big Brother, house theme, kind of theme or whatever that you haven't seen before? That I feel like every super fan kind of has like a theme idea that they've always pitched or wanted to see.
I was thinking it would be cool to do something like, I love Big Brother 21's theme, like a summer camp, whatever. I think it'd be cool to do like different eras of the summer. Like, I think it'd be cool to have like a 70s, like snack shack, you know, like at the pool and things like that. Like where you just do different like decades for each room of the house. I think
Stop it. Cool. Mine is decades. Mine's time warp. I want the rooms to all be like, I want a 70s room. I want a 90s room. I want like early aughts. I want like a 50s kitchen. And then as the weeks progress, they are moving through time. So we have like, we'll start like the 20s for the early competitions. And then like, but the theming will move up through the decades. That's been my like dream theme.
And then the HOH room has to be like the future, like something like that, like all chromed out. That would be ideal. I like anything to get them in costumes. Like I need them in like if we don't have a pirate themed veto, that just feels like a waste of everyone's time. Like I really think that we need to I wish I was a consultant for the like costumes, like especially the fact that I wore my outfit so many times, like on the jury roundtable night. The like head costume lady like gave me a hug and was like, thank you so much for wearing your outfits more than once. And I was like, thank you for making them cool. I was like, oh my God. Like Oh,
I feel like
banger
after every
outfit.
competition, you added stuff to your wardrobe. You were really good about that.
1,000,000%. I stole Lisa's suspenders. She had no clue she was getting blindsided. And so I was asking, I was like, does anyone have suspenders? I don't want to wear like the belt. And she goes, oh, you can borrow mine and give them to me after the vote. And I go, oh, of course. She leaves the room. I'm like, yeah,
About
oh
that.
boy. But I returned those. Second I got voted out, I was like, I stole these from Lisa. If you could get these to her. And they were like, you know what? Sure, man. Whatever it takes.
Oh, and do you know if she ever got him? Have you talked to her?
Yeah, she did get it. She tried. Okay. I was lying a lot to Lisa. I gave her this patch. It was on like my sweatshirt. The patch came off and then I had to return the sweatshirt. And so just to buy her trust, I was like, I want you to have this. This is like a really important patch to me. It's just a sunflower patch from Walmart. And I was being tongue in cheek. Like at no point did I think that this worked. And then we get out of the house and she's like, by the way, I have that patch you gave to me. I wanted to give it back. And I was like, wow, I'm such a bad person. And then like explaining to her, I was like, oh no, I was tricking you. It was like, I was like, oh boy. I was like, no, you can keep it, honestly. And she's like, are you sure? I was like, I want you to have it, dog. Keep it. And I was just like,
she is so sweet. She is such a good sport. I've talked to her mutuals, but I've talked to her a few times, and she is very sweet. But she's a very, very good sport about her whole time on the show, and I love that.
I think she should get on another show. I think that she has like the intangibles where like, sure, she probably didn't watch any Big Brother. Like she probably went in there as a recruit, but we had to play around her because it was just like, you have no clue if she's telling you the truth or not. We didn't know what her last name was. We all thought she was rich, like incredible.
She's a big deal though. She's doing parties for Paris Hilton, and on her socials, like she's hanging out at Sir with like Vanderpump and Housewives, and
she's so cool.
She is so cool. I love your cast. All right, one last thing I want you to do game wise. We're gonna end. This is running long, but because it's been so great. So, but again, talking about your diary rooms, I'm going to pop out. This is going to be just you for a second. I want your best diary room reaction. I want you to think of your favorite moment in Big Brother history as if you were sitting right there to witness it in firsthand. And then you've been called to the diary room to react to it. Are you up for it?
Yes. Let me think of a good event here to recap.
Or it can be like
his birthday. I don't know.
His birthday. Dan's funeral.
I unfortunately would have co-signed Dan's funeral. I would have been like, let's keep him. They hated him, right? I'm like, if I were a player and that's not Brittany Haynes that would be put on the block, I would for sure be like, he's a changed man. Let's take him off the block. Because I'm like, that guy will for sure get voted out next week. And then he's magic. Oh, wait.
You got it?
The edit earlier. So I'm sitting in a green room. I watched the final HOH or the first round HOH like 6 times because I was in a green room before the finale. And then they tell us like, hey, just something to consider. You need to, or like, you're going to be able to say something about who you would vote for and why, like whenever you walk up to place your vote. Be thinking about what you want to say, and then we can give you the green light to make sure it's good. And so I'm like spitballing ideas. I have no idea what's like caught on, what like makes sense. And I like mentioned sick nasty to my handler. I was like, what if I said I'm voting for like the most sick nasty player? And then he can't tell me anything that's going on, but he looks at me and is just like, yes. Yeah. You should say that. You should say that. So when I vote for Chelsea, I'm like, I'm voting for the most evil, nefarious, sick, nasty player this season. And I had no idea what the significance was because I had said the phrase sick, nasty. That's like just a word I use in my life.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, man, I must have said it a lot in the diary room, having I didn't even remember that I said those things to Leah. That was just like a in the moment, like whatever conversation. And so when I saw that clip, I was like, I don't super remember this, but sure. Yeah.
Really?
I,
It
like,
really took
remember,
off. It was like a very common catchphrase for you. Like, and maybe that's like a Mandela effect or whatever, because we heard you
well,
say it. It just kind of was so clipped.
yeah, I say sick nasty like all the time. Like in my public speaking class, we had to do like this is my freshman year of college. We had to do a speech over like the definition of a word and whatever. And my word was sick nasty. Somewhere I have
Okay.
that speech like written on a Google Doc. I just didn't remember, or I would have never thought that like that random conversation with Leah would have been anything. And so then when I saw it, I was like, I guess I remember saying that, but there were many times where I used the word sick nasty, but
I think that's the one that stuck out. Yeah.
okay, I've got it.
You got it? What's the moment? Set the stage.
Lawan volunteering for the block.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to pop out. You take it away.
I just won HOH. I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders, and here comes Lawan letting me know he's ready to go up on the block for a secret special power after he's been evicted. Do I think that's going to happen? No! Am I going to put him on the block? Yes! If he goes home, I guess that's life. But if he stays and he gets a power, we're the greatest allies you've ever seen. We're like this. We're brothers. I'll see you at my wedding. I love you. That's my pitch for the Lawan volunteers for the block.
It is amazing. That was better than I ever expected. And honestly, I think I forgot about that for a moment. And then you said it, started flooding back, and then your reaction was perfect. Perfection. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you. And no stutters in that. Normally I would like start and then I'd be like, wait, that's not very funny. And then I'd be like, okay, let me decide. Or especially when it started getting late, I would need to take like sips of water because I'll start stuttering. A horrible nightmare. Liability.
Oh my God. I'm terrible about it. And I have no idea why I'm terrible about it, because I was in speech and debate 4 years of high school, and I do a lot. And I've noticed it's really bad when I get into editing this podcast and my TikToks and stuff. But we got M&Ms thrown at us anytime we said until like she trained us to not say it. And here I am pushing 40 and I've slipped back into old ways. But I do the same intro for this show all the time, and I still mess it up and stutter a lot. But that's a single one take wonder.
Not noticeable.
Well, thank you. Thanks. What are you working on right now? What are you excited about? What's coming up? Where can everyone keep up with you?
I am moving to California in like 6 days.
No.
I'm doing a road trip with my girlfriend. So that's pretty exciting. And I don't really know, like, check me out on Patreon. We're going to like film a fun like YouTube video. She's the navigator. I'm just the driver. So I don't know where we're going or what we're doing on the way to California. So we're going to make a YouTube video about that and upload it.
You're moving.
Yes. I have a
Okay, this is devastating news for me.
I know. This is terrible, but I'm sorry.
I'm happy for you. So happy for you. Am I going to see you for premiere? Or are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there for the premiere, very likely. Damn. I'm failing you. But you have
so
Keanu
happy
now.
For you.
You have Keanu. And Keanu has like, he's got like a family. He's there.
I do really like Keanu. I'm devastated, but so happy for you. So happy for you. No, I get it. Oh, okay. Well, Quinn Martin, everybody. Well, Quindolyn Rivers is the name I like. I knew that this was going to be such a fun episode. You brought everything I expected and then more. There's no surprise there. So go find him. Go follow him. You have a really kick-ass Discord too, by the way. I love your Cult of Quinn people. They're so great.
Thank you.
His links are all going to be in the show notes below. A huge thank you to our Patreon community, Jenny Rue, Tay, Mr. Rogers. Thank you so much for your incredible questions. And thank you to Kinetic Management for all of your support. We are so grateful. Everyone go check them out. Big Brother 28 premieres July 9th. And Quinn just gave us his predictions and what he doesn't want to see. I need everyone to go back and listen to this after the premiere and see how like on the nose we were. If you're not a Patreon supporter, you should be. And you want to be a part of this community, submit questions for future guests, get early access to every episode before it drops. The link is in my bio in the show notes. Come find us. And if this episode made you laugh, made you think, made you want to rewatch BB26 completely, leave a review, tell a friend, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe. You know how we grow. I am Sarah Talks. This is Beyond the Edit, and we will see you next time.